Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader. It's Wednesday night, January the 5th. These are the charts of the day. Market keeps motoring along. Some real good economic news today. It triggered a nice comeback from the opening lows, and then the markets took off. A lot of our stocks moved nicely today. Let's take a look at a few of them, quite a few of them, actually. ARMH, ARM Holdings, which we've been talking about for a while, particularly since the pop here. Followed by this little flag, and then on the last few days it's been moving today up another 79 cents, 3.75%, 6.5 million. Volume increase to the heaviest in 2 weeks. Looks like a move towards the top of the channel at 26.5. Our trading target may be forthcoming. AUDC, audio codes, moving nicely. Had a little bit of a pullback here, but then recovered after holding the trend line and the 21-day moving average. Today making a new high, breaking out above the December high, up just 15 cents. On 490,000, but that was the best volume in about 5 sessions. And with the technical surging, the stock looks like it may be headed towards the top of the channel. Let's call it 8.5, 3/4 as our trading target zone. B Square had a big day today. This stock continues to have very strong momentum and great technicals. You'll see the move that started in mid-November around the $4 range has now reached more than 10, 150% increase in the less than 60 days. Another thrust here, followed by a 6 or 7 day flag. Today that was broken with a thrust on 845,000 shares, up 17.28%. Close at 10.25, up $1.51. That's the best close ever, I think. Let's take a look at the long-term chart. Well, at least the last 8 years. So broken across key overhead resistance here. Next target up in the 14, 15 zone on a weekly basis. But the short-term target, let's call it the 12.5, 13 area, and then about 15.5, 16. Boyd Gaming had a big day today. This lateral price resistance line right there was broken. The stock jumped 93 cents or 8.7% on 7.3 million shares. That's the heaviest volume since October. That's 90 days. With the breakout here, I expect the test of the 12.5 level, maybe 13. That's a short-term trading target. Let's call it 13.5 at the top of this channel here. Beyond that, perhaps a test of the old highs up around the 14.5, 15 zone from the May highs. ENTR continues to be one of our favorite stocks and a top 20 pick for next year. The stock triggered a move recently with the breakout of the 2-month coil in early December, and then another rising or ascending coil here formed. That was broken with a bit of a thrust today, up 86 cents on 6.4 million, a 7% increase, but you can see a clean breakout. Sure looks like it's headed for 15. That's our short-term trading target. Longer-term target, 19 to 20. That's more of an intermediate target. Longer term, we can get it perhaps into the mid-20s. Anyway, Ford Motor Company had a significant day today. In the last couple sessions, as a matter of fact, as this coil of 6-7 weeks was broken 2 days ago. A bit of a pause yesterday. Today, it accelerated up 51 cents, reaching over 18 for the first time in quite a long time. Matter of fact, this could be a 10-year high, I believe. Let's take a look at it. The highest level since 02, also an 8-year high here. So good stuff happening for Ford Motor Company. My trading target on a swing trade around the 20.5, 21 zone. Secondary target at 24. FTK setting up nicely as Flowtech, after spiking up last week, pulled back a little bit, and today edged up slightly, up 10 cents. Volume has dissipated on a pullback, but the technicals are holding up so well. I believe this is nothing more than a pause that consolidates and refreshes before the next move up takes us to $7 a share. IDT, one of my current favorite stocks. I believe the stock has big upside potential. You'll see the multi-month consolidation, which followed the big run up earlier in the year, was followed with a breakout, a flag, a breakout, another flag, and then a huge spike of 5 points about a month ago. Over the last 3 weeks, the stock has pulled back in a nice orderly falling wedge. You'll see it's right near the channel bottom here and right near the 21-day moving average. Any thrust above this 26.85, 27 area, I think, gets it going again. Initial minor resistance around 30, but eventually I'm looking for something in the mid to high 30s on IDT, if not higher. IEC had a big day today. You'll see that the breakout of this little formation here, bit of a platform for a week and a half, then a little pop, 2-day flag, and then today spiked up $1.20, 15%. On the heaviest volume for this thin stock in year and a half. So IEC Electronics at this point with new also 10-year highs, I believe. Let's check this. This is the highest level this stock has reached since 98, 12 years. The longer-term target up in the high teens. Short-term target around 12. Inimune stock had a huge move on big drug news recently. Consolidated in an ascending coil for the last couple of weeks. Today it popped $1.12 at over 39. 2 million shares traded, but I believe that this thing could accelerate here, get into the low 40s, and then the high 40s. My two trading targets on Inimune. Local.com appears to me a beautiful low-priced pattern here. After coming down in August and September, it based out, ran up, retested, held the long-term trend lines, spiked up, formed a little bit of a flag, and broke out again. Here, a pennant formed, or wedge. Twice tried to break out and backed off a little bit, but it appears to me that with today's high around 714, the highest level in 2 weeks, and with the prior highs around the 725 area here, a takeout of this 715.25 area could lead to a big spike up towards the 8 3/4, 9 range, and then ultimately a stock, I believe, gets into the low teens. MIPS appears to want to be breaking out. Now, as you can see, earlier in the year, the stock had a beautiful move after accelerating here, and then went into a 6-week coil, tried to break out, made a nominal new high, but couldn't follow through and backed off. Now she's coming on again. This lateral trading range for the last 2 months could support a hell of a move. I'm looking for a pop into the low 20s on an intermediate basis, but perhaps a short-term move up to about 19.5, maybe doable. ODP, Office Depot, moving very nicely. Broke out of the base here, spiked up in volume, flagged, and broke out again, and then today accelerated 29 cents or 5%. 15 million shares traded. That's the heaviest in 2 weeks. Looks like we're headed for a move up to test this range up around $7. And if that's taken out, maybe something around 8.5, 9 could be doable. Rediff, wanted to point this out because a beautiful little 5-day flag is formed here after this move up. And we're right out just underneath resistance. But technicals, as strong as they are, and with unbalanced volume, money stream, and balance of power set up in a position that calls for higher levels, I'm looking for this to take the a test of the 6 1/4 range short term, and then maybe get to 7.5 area. That's my short-term target. Longer-term target in the 9-10 zone and beyond. I think this could be the year for some of the Indian stocks. And Rediff, one of our top 20 picks for next year. Old favorite Research Frontiers woke up in the last couple of days. Didn't notice it till today, but I wanted to point out this key breakout. Take a look at the base, the breakout, the coil that's set up, and then another breakout with this mini coil that was exploded in the last 4 days, taking it from under 5 to over 7 just in the last couple, 3-4 sessions with big volume. Perhaps a bit overdone short term. We may see a pullback flag at some point, but I think the stock works its way higher. Short-term trading target at 8 once it resolves itself here. Sino Coking Coal and Coke Chemical Industries. That's try saying that 7 times quickly. SCOK broke out of a base here with a nice surge, pulled back for a couple days and flagged today. Had a spectacular day up $1.43. We called it this morning for our day traders. The stock closed right at resistance, a breakout here, and this stock could spike up to the 15-16 zone, our short-term trading target for SCOK. SHZ, the rare earths did not have a spectacular day today, more of a resting day, but notice the pattern. High volume breakout in October, a beautiful 6-week coil, a move up to test the highs, and then a little bit of a 2-week coil in here before this spectacular price volume surge took place, taking it from 4 to 10. 4 to 9.5, I should say. 970 was the high here. Flagged for 3 days, popped out, made new highs in the last couple sessions, reaching 1083 yesterday and 1084 today. So any move across that level, and this thing could spike up. And let's set a short-term trading target, 14. This has momentum. My new junior solar favorite is GT Solar, SOLR. I really like the way this is acting relative to the group, making new highs here, new 2-year highs, while many of the rest of them are not far off their lows. That's a positive sign to me, and this could turn into a solar industry leader from the stock standpoint. Right now, the top of the channel at 12.5 is our target. The stock popped 57 cents or 6% on 6.7 million shares today. That's the heaviest volume in a month, and looks like this one could be a nice mover in the next few weeks. Speaking of nice movers, Super Media, which came down from 48 to 4 and reversed sharply in December, only to go into a 2-week nice bull consolidation on low volume, has been breaking out the last couple sessions. Been moved from about the 8 range up to 1263 today, popping $1.25, but at one point up as much as $2.50. So it gave back about half its gains, but still strongest volume in 3 weeks. Looks like my trading target around 15 may be doable. Secondary target, intermediate target around 20. And one has momentum as well. SRZ, it's a spectacular move over the last couple of years in this stock. Well, especially here and then again here. But let's take a look at the current action. You can see that this 2-year resistance level right here was taken out today. Breaking out of this little 2-week coil that it was in, or pennant, it popped over the last 3 sessions from about the 5 level up to 735, about a 40% gain in the last 3 days. Today jumping 74 cents, or 12% on 3.4 million. That's the heaviest volume since early September, and it looks like this one has more to go. Sunrise Living's longer-term resistance right now is at 15. We'll call that an intermediate target, a short-term target at 11. STEC, still one of my swing trade targeted favorites, with a beautiful rising channel over the last 4 or 5 months. You'll see that this line, which was holding it back in a wedging type pattern, was broken 2 days ago. Yesterday was an inside day rest period. Today it jumped 48 cents on 2.36 million, but it looks like it's about to take off here. Short-term target near 21, intermediate target, secondary target about 23, but STEC looks like it may just be gathering some momentum. And lastly for today's Travel Zoo, also a recent swing trade idea of ours, although it settled back and then formed a coil. Today it popped 281, significant in that it broke back above its declining tops line here, out of the wedge pattern, and above its 21-day moving average, now putting it in clear sight of the 46.5 December highs. Beyond that, I'm looking for 50 and 55 my trading targets for Travel Zoo. Those are your ideas for tomorrow. Have a good evening.